Are you looking for a reason not to sleep tonight or ever again? So let's join spooky hands and run through 10 of the scariest urban legends ever. But a word of warning, after watching this list, you will likely assume that every friendly dog who tries to lick your hand is secretly a serial killer trying to murder you. Enjoy the nightmares. 10. Killer in the backseat. High beams. The story goes that a woman is driving home alone at night. Suddenly, the car behind her starts driving erratically and flashing its high beams. Understandably, she assumes she's being stalked and rushes home, getting her car safely into the garage, so that the car behind her can't follow her in. And it turns out that there was a man in her backseat wielding a knife the whole time, and the driver behind her had only been flashing his lights to try and deter the knife-wielding man. 1998's urban legend movie starts with this story. 9. Slender Man. You can go deep into the legend of Slender Man right this way, but I can also give you the short version here. Basically, urban legend tells of a scary man with super long floppy arms, who lives in the woods and preys on children. Slender Man is 100% not real. He was invented on the internet in 2009 by Eric Knudsen, but here's the thing. This fake story made its way into urban legends so fast and so furiously that kids started believing Slender Man was real. In fact, there have been multiple crimes attributed to Slender Man, including the high-profile case of 2 girls who were accused of stabbing their classmate in his name. 8. The Black-Eyed Children. Reports of black-eyed children panhandling their way around the country have been around since the 90s, which, judging from this list, was the creepiest decade ever. Verdicts still out on whether they're vampires or monsters, but the first person who saw them was a man named Brian Bethel, who claims they showed up in Texas. In conclusion, never go to Texas. 7. Bunny Man. He's a guy from Virginia who dresses up as a rabbit and murders people with an axe. There's even an entire bridge named after him. Particularly horrifying is the fact that there were real-life Bunny Man sightings in the 1970s, when 2 separate people reported being threatened by an axe-wielding man in a rabbit costume. The story entered the realm of urban legend thanks to several origin stories, one of which claims Bunny Man is an escaped convict who goes around Virginia skinning rabbits and hanging them on Bunny Man Bridge. Rabbit carcasses are said to show up around Halloween. 6. The Licker. The story goes that one night a girl and her dog were home alone, so she had her dog sleep under her bed because she was scared. Which is actually relatable. In the middle of the night, she woke up to the sound of dripping coming from the bathroom, but she was too freaked out to get up and check what it was. So naturally, she put her hand down underneath her bed for comfort and was reassured when her dog gave her a lick. The next morning, she walked into the bathroom only to find her dog slaughtered and strung up from the shower rod, his blood dripping onto the floor. On the wall, someone had scrawled the message, "Humans can lick too." It's unclear if the licker is still out there licking, but let's hope not. 5. Mothman. Most people are somewhat familiar with this buggy buddy thanks to the legendary Richard Gere movie, but if you need a reminder, Mothman is a man who is also a moth. He lives in West Virginia, and first showed up during the 60s, when several folks claimed to see him. So, is Mothman real? Who knows, but look, if you want to believe there's a giant moth person roaming around the South, Godspeed. More likely though, this was simply a big bird. 4. The Goatman of Maryland. You don't know of the Goatman? The half-human and half-goat hybrid monster who trolls around Maryland. Time to get acquainted because this dude is frightening as fuck. According to urban legend, the Goatman used to be a scientist, until an experiment involving goats turned him into a goat and he started murdering everyone with his axe. The Goatman probably doesn't exist, but considering how many times goats have come up on this list so far, I'm gonna go ahead and say they're all killers and I may, in fact, meet my end at the hands of one. 3. Chupacabra. The chupacabra. A legendary cryptid, which just means an animal that we can't prove exists, like a lake monster, rumored to meander around the southwest and Puerto Rico. This deranged-looking furry friend is said to drink the blood of goats and other unlucky livestock, and there's no way you want to be caught near one. Apparently, the chupacabra has been doing his thing since the 90s, when 8 sheep were found drained of blood in Puerto Rico. A few months later, a whole slew of farm animals were killed, and after that people all over the world started citing reports of their livestock having 2 puncture wounds and 0 bodily fluids. There's been a ton of legitimate research about whether or not the chupacabra is real, and the answer is no-ish. Sightings are probably just coyotes with mange, but still. 2. Bloody Mary. Hands up if you've ever walked into the bathroom, turned the lights on and off, and chanted Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary in front of the mirror. Because apparently this is how you summon ya girl Mary. And the good news is that sometimes Mary's nice. The bad news is she often appears as a corpse covered in blood. So yeah. If you've ever played Bloody Mary and truly thought you saw her, don't worry, you were most likely hallucinating, which apparently can happen when you stare into a mirror for too long. The alternative is you're just seeing the spirit of a dead girl. Either way. 1. La Llorona. A folk tale, which originates in Mexico and is about a mother named Maria, aka La Llorona, who threw her children into a river upon realizing that her husband was unfaithful. She immediately regretted the impulsive act, and so legend says that if you lurk around rivers or arroyos, which is basically just a fancy way of saying dry creek or gullies, after dark, you might come across her wailing spirit. La Llorona wears a highly haunting all-white lace outfit, and laying eyes on her will bring you death and doom, so run the hell away. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, press the like button, leave a comment letting us know what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already.